Okay, here we are. We're live tonight. I just put up there, that we have this rainy, yucky night out, but here we are, nice and warm in our jammies and slippers, and we're learning more EEM with Geoff White tonight. So I have a slide that just one slide that I'm going to put up to talk about the Foundations program. Do you see the slide, Geoff? I'm trying to get that slide to come over. Oh, there it is.
I saw it. It came up.
Yep. It was there, and then it. Okay, so this is the slide about the Foundations program, as you can see. And I want Geoff to talk about this, but all the details are here. And we're going to put it up again at the end of the session tonight, but we want to remind everyone that there are going to be 2 live Q&A calls with Donna for Foundation students. And this is the first time ever that that's happened. And also we have nursing and massage CEUs available. So Geoff, I'm going to close out the slide and ask you to come back on and introduce yourself, Eden Energy Medicine Advanced Practitioner, and we're very happy that Cynthia decided to join us so she could be the live demo person tonight. So welcome, Geoff, and please talk about the Foundations program first so we don't forget about it.
Sure, Elsie. Thanks a lot. I'm glad to be here tonight. And first, I'll talk about the Foundations program that I'll be the teacher of. So, I'm finally a Foundations teacher, and I finally feel like I'm ready to teach. I've had 9 years of experience working with people's energies. So I feel like I kind of know what goes on and how to follow the energy. And I like to teach that and help as many people to do this work as possible. So Elsie's going to be my right-hand person for sure, and we'll be running the Foundations program in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, South Jersey as we call it. And so if you know anybody that's in that area or anybody that might be interested in that, have them call us, email us, go to eventbrite.com. There's a lot of ways to get in touch with us about the Foundations program, and go on InnerSource, Donna's website, and click on the Foundations program there and see what's happening. So I don't know, I'm excited because I feel like the more people that are doing energy work, the better for all of us. And there's certainly lots of room, and we'll go from there.
So I want to just say to everyone that Geoff and I have found an absolutely beautiful studio, and the owner, Oikam, is Hawaiian. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful space that we look forward to sharing with you. So please, if you know anybody in the Philadelphia, Delaware, North Jersey area, Cherry Hill is only 20 minutes from Philadelphia. So, we have that tri-state area to draw from.
Yeah, there's no Foundations program in the whole state of Pennsylvania this year. I don't know about Delaware, but in the whole state of Pennsylvania, there's nothing. So I'm hoping that maybe some of the people from Eastern Pennsylvania will sort of hop over the bridge and come to South Jersey, the Cherry Hill location there, which isn't far from Philly at all. And I think Elsie mentioned North Jersey, but I think she meant to say South Jersey. So anyway, yeah, it's exciting. The space is beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to an interesting and exciting class, as they always are.
Yeah, and just to say that there are 104 CEs for nurses from ANA, American Holistic Nurses Association, 104 CEs for massage therapists and body workers from NCT, MB, and if you're in New Jersey, massage therapists have recently been licensed, so you need to get those continuing education credits. So Geoff, I'm going to let you take it over, and I want everyone to know that in the replay link, there's also going to be a PDF of this whole protocol that Geoff wrote out for us we're crediting Inner Source, of course, for the original work. But Geoff, I'm sure, has a few special things he's going to add to it tonight. Thanks, Geoff. And before we begin, if you're out there watching, down by the chat box, just let me know you're there, that you can see us okay and you can hear us okay. Okay, Geoff, take it away.
Okay, Elsie, thanks a lot. I think there's a couple things. One is the main thing I want to demo tonight on Cindy, who's graciously come here to be the warm body. But anyway, the main thing I want to demonstrate tonight is the penetrating flow as we learned it in 2006. And certainly the email that Elsie's going to send out along with this, there's a page that has the protocol on it. That's from 2006. And there have been a couple minor additions to that since then, which some of you probably know. I won't be showing those tonight. I'll just be doing the standard protocol. And I think penetrating flow is really, really powerful because it really works with the hormones. It works with women's cycles. It actually helps men too. It's the penetrating flow is, of course, radiant circuit, and getting that flowing and working with it is really important. I find a lot of my clients have trouble with their pericardium or their circumflex meridian. And in my experience, circumflex and penetrating flow are very closely related. And it's really important, if there's a chronic circumflex problem, that you look at the penetrating flow protocol and do the testing to make sure that that meridian actually needs to be worked. And I'll show you tonight how that works. Now, another thing that I'm going to demonstrate tonight is the energy testing, because a lot of people still have trouble doing the energy medicine testing and energy muscle testing. And I think it's so easy and you get so much information from that. And there's some conflicts about how we learn that. But I think in the end, it's really important to do the muscle test and do the challenge, and you get information from that. And I'll walk you through that tonight with Cindy. I'm gonna do the energy testing for all the meridians with her, and then I'll show you how important it is for working with the penetrating flow. Okay, so I'm ready to start. I hope you're all ready to go with me. And here we go.
Okay, and Geoff, I just want to add something as you're getting ready to start to comment, and you can also add to this, but what you have done that penetrating flow on me once, what it helped me do was open that root center to feel safe, number one. And you know, that root center is kind of like our pilot light. I mean, it lights up all the other chakras. So the fact that that was so stabilized also, you know, of course, helped kidney and adrenals, but it was a very unusual feeling, very grounding, but also very gentle.
Yes, I think that's very true, Elsie, and thank you for adding that, because it is very gentle, it is very grounding, and as I'll explain later, it's also very powerful in removing a lot of the toxic energy congestion that accumulates in the kidneys and prevents a lot of the normal hormonal functions and bodily functions to work. So I'll be talking about that as we go along. So now, if it's all right with you, I'll start the energy testing just like I would do with every client. It's pretty simple. Cindy doesn't have a lot of experience with this, which is really great, because I'll be able to show you something very important later on with the pericardium, with a penetrating flow. So anyway, I first start with gallbladder test. So I'm going to push down, and then I stress this muscle here, anterior deltoid, and she went weak. What I generally do is I do one side of the body, the upper, and the other side of the body, the upper, and then I do the lower meridian. So anyway, so her, and of course, I don't know if I don't think I need to explain this too much, but basically her muscle was strong. I challenged it and it was weak. Some people will pinch, some people will stretch, some people will do different things to challenge the muscle. Basically, I found if I just push my finger in the belly of the muscle, that's enough to weaken it, and I get good information from that. I'm going to pull away here, Cindy, like this. Don't let me. Hold it tight. And then I'll challenge the test by touching her latissimus dorsi and hold it tight. And she can't. Basically, it's weakened. I'm going to go.
Geoff, excuse me, just a second. Can you adjust the camera because we can't see your head? Your head is cut off there. We can hear you fine, but we can't see all of you.
If I push this up, tell me when you can still see me.
Okay, yeah, now we can see you as you're talking. Great, thanks.
And you can see Cindy still?
No, it needs to come up a little bit more.
Up a little bit more?
Or maybe if you sit on a stool.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, now we can see almost all of you.
Or I can sit on this stool.
Yeah, that might be better.
Okay. Here we go. So anyway.
Okay, that's better. Then we can see you as you talk.
Okay. Anyway, so I did gallbladder and I did spleen. Central meridian, I'm pushing towards her belly. Hold real tight. And right near the shoulder blade, in between those two bones at the top of the shoulder, is another place I pushed, and she goes weak. Then I go stomach meridian, hold real tight, and I pushed right underneath her collarbone, and she goes weak. And then I come up and I turn her hand. I'm going that way, and she's going to resist. Hold real tight. We're testing liver, and liver is right on either side of the sternum. You can touch one of the pectoralis sternal major muscles, and that goes weak. And lung meridian, we always say reach for the ball, but I just find if I just pull her arm towards her feet and touch right behind her armpit, she goes weak. So we just did gallbladder, central, stomach, liver, and lung meridians all tested. And all of them had a strong test when I pushed on the muscle, and then they weakened easily when I pushed on the stress point. Now, heart meridian, bend your arm a little bit. I'm going to pick up your forearm like this, and I'm going to hold my hand at her elbow here to support it, and I'm just going to pick up her forearm, and she's very strong. She has a very strong heart. Hold. And it gets weak. Then hand behind your lower back, Cindy. And then I'm going to pull up. I push down on her shoulder to hold her shoulder here because I just want to feel if she has that governing muscle strength. So I pull up and she's strong. I pinch at the bottom of her shoulder blade and she goes weak. Now, I know there's some controversy. Some people sit up to do that test because they really want to get your arms back there. I get enough information like this, so I'm not worried. And then I do triple warmer, and I'm holding her elbow here a little bit away from her body, and I'm pushing towards her belly. Hold real tight, hold. And I always say that, hold real tight, and then I pinch right behind her shoulder, hold, and it goes weak. So again, in the grand scheme of things, her triple warmer tests as if there's nothing wrong, but I don't believe that. I never believe triple warmer is okay. So can you see me okay?
Yeah, great.
Okay.
I can see you.
Okay, so we'll do that again on this side. I'm pushing down, hold real tight, hold. This is gallbladder. I'm pushing towards her belly, hold, ready, hold real tight, hold. And challenging that, and that gets weak. I'm pulling away like this, don't let me, ready, hold. And I'm challenging latissimus dorsi, hold, and she gets weak. So gallbladder, central, and spleen are all reasonably balanced. I'm going towards her feet, don't let me, hold. I challenge right underneath the collarbone, hold, and she gets weak. I turn her palm out towards me, and I'm going above her head, and she's going to resist, hold. And I touch here right on either side of her, on this side of her sternum, and it goes weak. And now I'm going to go down, and that's liver. This is lung, going down towards her feet. Hold real tight. Hold. And she goes weak. So stomach, liver, and lung meridian are all reasonably balanced. Bend your elbow. I'm going to pick up. Again, I'm going to hold her elbow, and I'm pick up the forearm. Hold real tight. Hold. And I'm going to just push in there for subscapularis. It's right. If you push in the side of the ribs, you get it. Hold. Yeah. And she gets weak. Hand behind your lower back. I'm going to hold her shoulder down, and I'm going to pick up her elbow. Hold. And it's nice and strong. And I'm going to pinch at the bottom of her scapula. Hold it tight. It's weak. Okay, so that's all the upper meridians. The lower meridians for the body, you won't be able to see my head, but you'll be able to hear my voice. Leg up, foot turned out. This is the language I use. I'm pushing down, don't let me, hold. And that's the psoas muscle. I don't have to touch her. I can just use my energy. I'll go around the other side and do the same thing. This is kidney meridian. I'm pushing down, hold. And I challenge it at the psoas muscle, and it gets weak. Leg up, foot turned in. This will be large intestine, pushing down, challenge it on the neurovascular points here on the side of the leg, and it gets weak. Same thing here, foot turned in, hold real tight, hold, and she gets weak. Small intestine, she bends her knee. This is not quite a right angle, and I'm pushing down, hold real tight, hold, and I'm challenging the quad, and it goes very weak. Hold real tight, hold. Now, all the while that I'm doing this, I'm getting information. I'm getting information in terms of the quality of her meridian muscle test. So when her quadricep is very strong, I feel like her small intestine can be very strong, and it can do the work that it's supposed to do. When I challenge it and it goes weak readily, it can also relax. That's what we consider to be healthy meridian energy. For the bladder meridian, I'm turning her foot in like this. Don't let me. Okay, hold. And then I challenge it on the outside of the shin bone, and it goes weak. Same thing here. Hold real tight. Hold. Now, pericardium, I'm going to close your legs, Cindy, right? So don't let me, hold. Okay, now this is strong. I pinch her butt. I could ask her to pinch her butt. She trusts me. Same thing here, hold, pinch her butt, hold. Okay, and it goes weak. So all her meridians have tested strong and then weak. The only one I really distrust is triple warmer. So if you have any questions, you can type them into Elsie, but or you can email me or something like that. But that's what I do with every client. I get good information. I feel like her spleen is strong, her liver is strong, her stomach's strong. Everything is working. It can also relax and test well. She presents like everything's okay, and I'll just tell you, I suspect triple warmer is not okay. And we'll see as we go to a deeper level here. I'd like now to go to the penetrating flow protocol and show you that. So I'll start that now as it is, as it was in 2006. I used the pericardium test, and I'm going to ask Cindy to hold her fingers together like this and push the top of your fingers into the top of your pubic bone. And I'm going to close her leg. Hold real tight. Hold real tight. Hold. Okay. Hold real tight. Hold. So here's. You can relax just for a second. Just the first test. What I'm getting is I just tested her pericardium, her circulation sex meridian, and that was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. And now I go to a deeper level to the penetrating flow protocol test. And it's weak. The first one is weak. That's interesting. So I'll go for the second and third and the fourth test. Same thing. I have her fingers are at liver 12, and I'll ask her to hold real tight. Hold. There's nothing there. Okay, now put your fingers back like that and go up about 3 inches. That's good. And thumbs up. Hold real tight. Hold. Okay, there's nothing there. Hold real tight. Hold. Okay, it almost seems like she's cheating because, okay, go 3 inches up more, just above your navel. Okay, ready? Hold real tight. Hold. Okay, there's nothing there. There's no energy at all. So what I can say is, you can relax now. What I can say is on the first superficial layer, all these muscles here that govern her pericardium, her circulation, sex, meridian test, they were strong enough to give me a good test. But as soon as we started following the penetrating flow protocol to actually specifically look at penetrating flow, all of a sudden she's weak. And these tests were strong before, now they're weak. So penetrating flow is a huge issue for her. And I don't know her very well, but I could say I suspect she would have some hormonal problems. She might have some regular feminine cycle problems. She might be out of sync with the moon. There might be a lot of problems, but anyway, she needs that work. So now I'll go and show you how to correct that. So my little cheat sheet here. So the first thing I do is I'll ask Cindy to hold her middle fingers at, can you see me now, Elsie? Is that okay?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Can you see my hands? Can you see my hands okay?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Cindy to put her middle fingers at the bottom of her sternum. Right. Yeah, just there. And I'm going to hold the PowerPoint and just pull a little bit on that. Now what happens here is my assumption is penetrating flow is not working very well. So there's probably a lot of energetic congestion, maybe in the kidneys, maybe in her uterine area, just maybe in pericardium in general, that didn't show up with the more superficial muscle test or energy test, as we call it. So I'm holding here, and while I'm holding points, I always pay attention what kind of information I'm getting. I'm getting a pretty good thump, a pulse at her PowerPoint. So her body's saying, I like this. This feels good. And it's meaningful for me to connect with her in this way because I feel like, oh, your body likes this. I'm helping you in this way. And I like that feeling. Okay, so now
I just want to clarify for everybody that Geoff is holding that PowerPoint, not the electrics, but that PowerPoint, which is so healing. Gail Van Konigen, Dr. Gail Van Konigen talked about that in January and spoke about that PowerPoint and how much she uses it.
Right. Thank you, Elsie. It's right at the top of the spine, just where the spine enters the skull. Okay, so that I get nice, good pulses there. Cindy, you can put your hands down. Now I'll do the belt flow, and I'm just following Donna's protocol for penetrating flow correction. And of course, everybody knows how to do the belt flow, and this is a really good way to connect the upper body to the lower body, and for the left side to be connected to the right side. It's very, very much a part of this whole area that we're working in. And now I'll go back to her head again, and this time I'm gonna do that. I don't know what we call it. We call it shadow rabbit sometimes, but if you can put your hands, let me see. You put your hands at it's your pubic bone again. I'm sorry. Yeah, you put your fingers there, and I put my hands like this. Thumb is long over large intestine, and I put the tips of my thumbs in her temples, and the rest of my fingers on the main neurovascular points. And this is the overwhelm and calming triple warmer. What do you call it? Mellow Mudra, I think it is. And I'll hold this, and immediately I'm getting pulses. I get pulses in the tip of my thumbs on her temples, and I'm getting pulses at her main neurovascular stress points in the middle of her forehead. So her body, again, is saying that she likes this. Okay, the next position will be, you'll hold liver 12, Cindy, so your finger's right here, okay? And I'm going to hold that triple warmer sedating position with my fingers spread like this on either side of her ears, my two forefinger and middle finger in front of her ears, and my thumbs at the liver points on her forehead.
The good old Dr. Spock hold.
Dr. Spock hold. And actually, yes, when you think about this, this is a very powerful point, because Cindy's holding liver 12, and I'm holding liver, whatever this is, up at the top of her forehead, the neurovascular points. And I'm also holding the triple warmer points and pericardium points behind her ears. So it's really, it's saying to her body, okay, if you have hormone issues, we're going to calm down triple warmer, and we're going to support liver. We're going to allow liver to do what it normally does, and in its optimal way. And any congestion that interferes with this is going to be cleared out as we move along here. Now, I'll say that I am getting really nice pulses here. I'm getting pulses in the tips of my thumbs on her liver points. I'm getting really nice pulses in front of her ears and behind her ears with the way my hands are that way. So again, her body's saying, oh boy, this feels good. And even though Cindy may not feel anything, it's still something that I can share with her and say, hey, this is really working. This is something that you need. Now, there are times when I've held these points, or I've held this position, and it might be 10 minutes for me holding this position before I get pulses. So I feel like this is really, this is an interesting thing happening here. Okay, now, Cindy, I'm going to ask you to put your fingers at your pubic bone again. Now, this part is very interesting. I think you can see me, right? Is it okay? You can see me okay?
See you great.
So I have my palms on the bottom of Cindy's feet, particularly the middle of my palms on K1. So I could put my thumb in K1, but that's really awkward for me because I have such big hands. So I'm pushing the palms on the bottom of her feet, and I'm kind of, you can, you're holding, Cindy's holding her fingers at pubic bone, and I'm kind of pulsing her legs. Now, what you see me doing right now, it's probably hard to see. I'm actually pushing kind of hard on her feet to get that K1 activated. Now what I'm going to do, kind of like the K1 wave, I'm going to push on K1, and then I'm going to pull back on liver 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to push on K1, and I'll pull back on liver 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to do this motion very gently and yet firmly. I'm pushing here. I don't want to hurt her, but I do want to get this energy moving. And what happens, and what has happened to me many times, hundreds of times doing this protocol, is my hands start to burn. My hands start to get really tingly. They start to hurt. And that's actually her kidneys dumping energetic toxins into my hands. They're coming down her legs, they're coming into my hands, and they're going to go right into the earth where they belong. I am visually imagining the toxins coming from her body that are energetic congestion, that's coming down her feet, coming right through K1 into my hands, and it's going right through my arms down my legs, through my feet, into the earth. And when someone is very congested, I'll just keep doing this until that tingly sensation, that burning sensation, that toxic feeling starts to abate. Okay, now Cindy, if you can move your fingers about 3 inches up towards your ovaries, about where your ovaries are, and push in. Thank you. That's perfect. You don't have to push in very hard, just slightly. Now I'm going to continue to pump here, and more stuff is going to come out because we're really energetically saying, okay, we supported liver, we calmed down triple warmer, and now her body can start reorganizing her hormonal functioning and her regular feminine functioning and reproductive functioning, and anything that's in the way gets discharged down her legs into my palms and down back into the earth. It's a very powerful protocol. Okay, now I could probably continue to do this for another 5 minutes. It's making me very hot. I'm getting tingling sensations in my palms. And when I touch her liver, 3, 2, 1 here with my fingers, it's like very electric. I'll put it that way. It's very electric. So I know she's discharging stuff. And I probably will have to do this protocol the next time I see her because it's so powerful what's happening, all the feelings I'm getting from this. And the fact that pericardium tested strong when I did the muscle test and it tested weak when we did the penetrating flow test says, wow, this might have been out of balance for a long, long time. And I'm going to have to check this regularly for the next few times that I see her. I would plan to do this protocol just like this the next time we meet. Okay, now you can put your hands down where you want. And I have to bring this energy down from her body. And I'm kind of pushing firmly on her legs here to bring this energy down. And you can see me shake it off. And then I need to do some really good figure eights here. Just briefly for a second. And then I'm going to support this whole process by putting my hand basically at her second chakra in the back. And I'm going to pump a little bit. I'm going to push up with my left hand and then push down with my right hand. I don't want to hurt her. I just want a little bit of motion there. Some people like to rock like this. I don't do very well with that. So
you're holding the Ming Men, Geoff? You're holding the Ming Men in the back? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And I'm just pumping it lightly. Well, actually, firmly, I would say I'm pumping it. And this is, of course, bringing energy back to the area that is in question, the energy that we tested, and hopefully restoring the energy balance there, front to back. I do this for a little while, and then I've already gotten her permission to hold second chakra and fourth chakra here to connect her heart to her second chakra. So everything is in balance on the deepest level, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and so forth. And of course, you can't know this, but I have really nice pulses in the palms of both of my hands. So I know her body's saying, oh boy, this feels good. And all the things that I've done to this point support her heart being connected to her second chakra. So this is all very good. Again, I'll shake it off and I'll bring this energy down her legs. Sometimes I'll just do a quick belt flow like this to bring energies down her legs. Sometimes I'll pull it down her arms as well. And just bring this energy down her legs and shake it off. And then the second to final thing is to weave figure eights in here and weave them pretty tight to the body. So whatever adjustments I made, her body will be able to integrate over the next day or two. And I move my hands, may be difficult for you to see, but I'm moving my hands in figure eight motions. Both of my hands are going in figure eight motions to accomplish that. And now we'll see if actually I accomplished something. So Cindy, I'll ask you to put your fingers like that and put your fingers at your pubic bone, right? Okay, and I'm going to close your leg. Don't let me. Hold. Okay, she's really strong. Hold it tight. Hold. Where before she was weak. Now put your fingers at liver 12 like that. Hold it tight. Hold. And if you remember the test a little while ago, these were weak. Back to this and slide up. Yeah, just below your navel. That's right. Hold it tight. Hold. Okay, ready? Hold it tight. Hold. And then slide up again three more inches and fingers up. Thumbs up. Ready? Hold. Okay. So basically, that's the protocol. Thank you, Cindy. I would say that she needed that work. Her body responded very well to that work, and she benefited from it because the energy testing at the end was nice and strong, whereas before, in the beginning, there was really nothing there, just nothing, no energy at all for the penetrating flow. Now, for homework, I might suggest that Cindy trace the penetrating flow. Everyone knows where that, the Marilyn Monroe, I think is the way we remember that. But anyway, I'll ask her to trace a penetrating flow probably every day. That would be a good thing to do. Of course, she's going to do some of the daily routine, and she'll do some of the other things that we come up with as homework for this particular situation. So anyway, Elsie, I think I'm finished a little bit early, but I think I've demonstrated as much as I feel is worth demonstrating tonight. So.
Oh, that was great. Great, Geoff. So would Cindy like to say anything about how she feels now, or would she like to make any comments? I don't want to put her on the spot there.
No, that felt good. I do actually have hormone issues and period issues, so I'm excited to start doing this and make it all better and kind of heal myself. So I'm excited.
Yeah, you look nice and bright.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love this. This has been a wonderful way of life that I'm learning, and I'm just excited to embrace it.
Yeah, Geoff, I was struck by the strength of that kidney wave, and I haven't seen it done quite that way, and I could see why it would be very effective in releasing toxins. Yeah.
Yes, Elsie, I think I have to say I learned that from doing this penetrating flow. We were taught to do the K1 wave, and I never really got much out of that, and I never did that much by itself. But with this penetrating flow protocol, when I do that, it's really powerful, and I really sometimes it's kind of scary how much junk comes into my hands, and my hands are burning, and they're pins and needles, and I feel toxic, and I'm like, oh, and I start feeling like I'm burning up with all that stuff, and then it clears. It just clears, and then when I retest, the person's strong, and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty cool. That works great.
Right. Well, it certainly is effective, and effective since that protocol stirring up all those toxins to really release them. It just was, something to watch how that was happening. And as you described it, it was almost like we could see it. So if the number of viewers that are on, if anybody has any questions, you can send them in through the chat box for Geoff, I'll be able to see them and ask him for you. So anything you want to send in, just type it in. I'll get it and let Geoff answer it.
Sure. And Elsie, I'll just say, also, there's a newer version of this. I actually don't know if this has been being taught on a regular basis anymore, but I think there's a newer version of it. And one of the things is you put your hand here, the client puts her hand here like this to test the mental part of the penetrating flow. And there's some other little things, but other little variations on it. But basically, this is the part that really helps. And I know as an example of how effective this can be, I had a client who was in her 30s and had never had a regular menstrual cycle. And I did this protocol once, and it was kind of like Cindy. It was really powerful. There's a lot of junk that came out. And right after that, she went into the moon cycle. So she ovulated on the new moon, and she got her period on the full moon. And that's been ever since, for years, ever since. So that's pretty powerful.
Great. Yeah, and I don't remember, of course, it's been quite a number of years, but I don't remember this being stressed as much. But we can certainly see how valuable it is, because that Ming Men, back there at the penetrating flow is the gate of life.
That's right. That's right. And I have to say also, this is an effective protocol for men too. It really helps men's hormonal cycle. That's great. Anyway, it helps their hormonal cycle work and helps with any kind of sexual dysfunctions they have. So it's very powerful for men and women.
Yeah, I could see that. Yes. And so have you done that with men?
Yes, I've done it with men a number of times to good effects. I think because men don't have a regular cycle, they don't notice the benefit of it so readily. Although I have to say, some like prostate cancer and prostatectomies are pretty common, and I think this is one of the major supports for that post-op for that condition. And I think sometimes that really can correct a lot of problems that are in that area. Donna says for some prostate problems, holding K7 and 8, kidney 7 and 8, is a really good way to support the prostate and men's functioning in general. So we have to think, as energy medicine practitioners, we have to think everything's in relationship, and kidney is the beginning, and kidney is also next to the adrenal. The adrenals are on top of the kidneys, and adrenal demands sort of trump any of the sex hormone demands. So if we get kidney into balance and we get rid of all those energetic toxins, then we really have something that's healthy for the body long term.
Geoff, I have a couple questions.
Okay, Elsie.
Deb Gallagher wanted to know if you ever start your sessions with testing alarm points, or do you get right to the muscle meridians?
Okay, good question. One of the reasons I wanted to demonstrate the muscle meridian test tonight is because I hardly ever use alarm points, because I get lots more information from the muscle meridian tests. And I wanted to show you all tonight how simple and easy and elegant it can be. It doesn't have to be this like super stressful thing. Once you learn the muscles, once you learn the challenge points, it's very, very good information that you get from doing those tests. With Cindy, her muscles, when I pushed down, her muscles were very strong, very robust, and very healthy. And when I challenged the muscle, it weakened immediately. So I'd say she's in great shape energetically. If I just do the alarm points are going to go off when there's a problem, but it doesn't tell you anything more than there's a problem. Well, I get lots more information, let's say, as an example, because we all know triple warmer interferes with spleen. So if I tested Cindy like I did tonight, and her spleen is strong, triple warmer is not, it's not too active for her. Triple warmer is okay. And the test for that, or the confirmation for that, is when I test lung, because spleen in the earth element feeds lung in the metal element. So if I test spleen, her spleen was strong, and her lung meridian test was strong. So I know spleen energy is moving to lung, and then I tested her kidney, and kidney energy is strong. So I get a lot of information from those muscle tests, much more than I get from the alarm tests. And in fact, I didn't go as fast as I could go tonight, but I could probably keep up with someone doing the alarm test, because I've been doing this for a long time. It's very easy for me, and you see my language is, okay, hold real tight, okay, hold real tight, and I'm communicating to the client to hold when they have to hold, and then I feel like I get pretty valid tests, and I get lots of information. Sometimes I'll get a little fuzzy, like, oh, I don't know whether that really weakened or whether that's really strong or whatever. Like sometimes liver, in our society, we have a lot of toxins, and people's liver test is kind of fuzzy, and that gives me information. Oh, okay, maybe I need to do 3-point on liver, or maybe I need to just sedate liver because it's really tired from handling all the toxins. And if somebody, if I'm working with a guy who works on a golf course, I know he's dealing with glyphosate and all kinds of pesticides and herbicides and things like that, and I know his liver is going to be whacked. If I test the alarm point, it's like, okay, there's a problem with the liver. And then I have to go to the muscle test and find out, is it over or is it under? This way, I get the good information. I have to admit, one thing I didn't do tonight with Cindy was I didn't do the pulse test for over energy to find out if any meridians were overcharged. I would normally do that after I finished the upper body on both sides with the spleen test. I would do the pulse test and find out which meridians are overcharged, if any. So I did not do that test tonight. So sorry about that.
Geoff, I do have another question from Ann Sheridan. She said, can you talk about triple warmer not showing up with testing?
Oh, okay, Ann, great question. Donna's work with triple warmer is extraordinary. It's just extraordinary. The whole triple warmer spleen energy system is very powerful and very important to pay attention to. In the past, when I've worked with people with addictions, I might say, oh, so Mike, how many beers did you drink on Saturday night? And Mike says, oh, I drank 2 beers. And I'll double it in my mind. I'll think, oh, you drank 4 beers. Or I might say, oh, Mike, really, I'll bet you drank a 6-pack and you're just not telling me. And I'll go, yeah, Geoff, you're right. I have to tell you, I drank a 6-pack. Well, that's how I feel about triple warmer. Like I tested Cindy's triple warmer. It seems perfectly fine. It was a nice, strong test. And then I challenged it, and it was a weak test. And triple warmer is fine. And when I tested her spleen was nice and strong. So, and I'm on the surface, it's like everything is just fine. This is wonderful. But really, in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And I know Cindy's she's a regular person. She lives in this world. She's got to be stressed by job, friends, relationships, toxins in her food, toxins in the environment. Triple warmer is somewhere in there going, yeah, And so even though I get a good test, in the back of my mind, I'm looking out, I'll bet triple warmer is really going to show up here sometime. Now, triple warmer also knows on some level, Geoff's an energy worker. He's looking for me to show up, and I'm not going to show up. So I really think of triple warmer as this, sort of a guerrilla fighter, not fighting out in the open, but in the background and sneaking around and pretending to be okay when it's really not. So that's why I say, tonight, Cindy's triple warmer clearly tested fine, but I don't believe it. The other meridians I believe, triple warmer I don't. I just don't. And to give you another deeper layer of it, pericardium showed up as strong. When I first tested her sex test, closing her legs, she was fine. But then when we looked at a little bit deeper level of penetrating flow, there was absolutely no energy there. So I have to say, okay, now if triple warmer is perfectly okay and pericardium's perfectly okay, how does penetrating flow get so weak? Well, okay, penetrating flow is weak and pericardium is, circulation sex is probably not real strong. And if pericardium's not real strong because pericardium is the yin element next to triple warmer, the yang element in the fire element, pericardium and triple warmer work together, I have to say, okay, if I end up doing penetrating flow protocol tonight with Cindy, bet you next week when she comes in, there's going to be a problem with triple warmer. And there's probably going to be a problem with circ sex. And I'll have to do the penetrating flow again. So that it's kind of an attitude that has been reinforced by my experience with many clients. And I just feel like, okay, triple warmer, whatever it tests, I don't care how you test it, whatever it tests, don't believe it, because it's likely to be false at first. When you get to the deeper levels of energy work, you can find out what triple warmer is really doing. And it's always related to pericardium, to circulation sex. And one of the ways, like I think the penetrating flow protocol tonight is actually a backdoor way into saying, hey, triple warmer, we know there's a problem, but yeah, we won't work on that tonight. We'll just stay with penetrating flow.
So Anne said, then, would you test reactivity? Was her question after what you were saying?
Yes, you could do that. Would be an excellent idea to test that. In this particular situation, I'm trying to stay focused on the penetrating flow protocol. Right. So I didn't do the over energy and I didn't do the reactivity test, but that would be very good to do. Again, I think one of the wonderful things about Donna's work is she's given us so many ways to test triple warmer, and I really think you can't just say, oh, it's strong, it's okay. I think you really have to suspect triple warmer always, always, always. And even when you've been working with somebody for a long time and you go, into the deeper levels of energy work, even then it's like triple warmer is so conniving and so unlikely to just be honest and upright. It's a problem. And I think that Donna has identified that over and over and over again. And when you do energy work on a regular basis, a long time with different patients and different situations, you find out, yeah, triple warmer can't be trusted. Just can't.
So, Geoff, Sherry and Anne had just one more question.
Okay, go for it.
And their question is, do you think that as practitioners, they can influence, or we could influence the outcome with our expectations in regard to triple warmer?
That's always a problem. It's always a problem with any energy testing, any kind of energy work. The practitioner's expectations or anticipations or even sometimes hopes get in the way. What I didn't tell you tonight is when I energy test, I try to clear my mind of any expectations at all. If Cindy came in and she said she had raging migraine, I would expect there to be a gallbladder issue. But you know what? Yeah. If I'm going to be a good practitioner, I have to clear my mind of that expectation. And I test her gallbladder meridian just like I'd test anybody else's meridian. Even though the symptoms kind of point strongly to that, I would not. I clear my mind. I kind of get into that Zen space, no expectations, no past, no future, no, just right in the present moment. and like an open mind, open heart about what I might find. Oh, this is curious. Oh, look at that. Triple warmer is not activated here. And oh, circulation sex is really nice and strong. And whoa, how did that penetrating flow get so weak? That's my attitude. And I might not have expressed that very well tonight, but that's how I do it. Otherwise, if I think, oh, it's going to be something, it's going to be that. So thanks. Very good question.
Yeah, good question. So, Geoff, we've run out of time, but this was really wonderful experience and something different that we've done on the telecoaching call. So we'll have to do more of this. I'd like one more time for you to tell us about the foundations class. I'm also going to bring that slide over one more time with all the information and have you mention that for everyone that's listening so that, if they know anybody that they can direct them to the Cherry Hill. Trying to see if that comes to the Cherry Hill version of
Foundation
comes.
Okay. Yeah. Send your friends.
And then there it is. Okay. Well, all right.
Yeah, send your friends, your family, whatever, refer people who are interested. That'd be fun. I think it's really an exciting venture for me because I feel like I have a lot of experience. And at first, like a couple of years ago, I didn't want to even teach the foundations program because I thought, it's too basic. I feel like I know a lot about energy medicine. I know about the depth of it. And I didn't really want to teach the basics. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, it's really rich when I teach someone energy, let's say muscle testing. It's really rich when I teach it because I've had so much experience. If somebody says, oh, that test doesn't work, I can say, no, it does work. And if you do it properly and you discipline yourself to learn those points, the challenge points and the muscles that are involved, it's wonderfully informative, just wonderfully informative. And I look forward to teaching the first year because that's a rich experience now that I see how that can be.
So here's all the information again for people, and you can contact Geoff at his office in Mount Laurel, 856-222-4600, or by cell 609-468-1286, or by email. And you can register. If you know anybody interested, they can go on and actually register online, or they can send a check-in offline, but they can register at http://EEM1.eventbrite.com. Okay, the slide is blurry. Grads.
Thanks, Elsie.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to stop the slide, but you're going to get nice compliments for you, Geoff, here. That Karen said she really appreciated hearing your feedback, that experiencing energy as a practitioner, and Ann and Sherry said great demo, so we'll have to do this again. So once again, just a reminder, April 21st, Foundations, Year 1, right here in Cherry Hill. Contact Geoff for all the details. Geoff, thank you so much. And Cindy, thanks so much for being our healer demo. We really appreciated it.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.